Hello and welcome to Fox Valley Today. I'm Barb Nadeau and I'm very excited that you're here with me today, and so excited to be on TV because we are traveling to outer space with our guest today, Lisa Riebe. She's the author of Pond Punkies and the designer of the Pond Punkies toys, and she's brought the toys and the book, and I'm so excited. So,
Me
wow.
too.
Lisa, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you, Barbara, for having me here.
And taking us on this journey, and where are we going?
Well, we're starting at Neptune, and we're ending up all the way back at Earth with the Pond Punkies.
I've never heard of Pond Punkies before.
Well, most people haven't. The book came out in May. It's a new book, new series, and word's getting out. Hopefully the show will help get it out a little more.
Well, I am always excited to meet authors. We've had a lot of authors on our show in the past, and some really interesting books, but I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. And it's an interesting story. We want to learn more about the Pond Punkies, but we also want to know about Lisa and what you did. There's a whole story about how these little guys came from Neptune and made it to Earth. And can you fill us in?
Sure. Well, originally, I was sitting around my pond with my son and my friend. I like to invent things. So I thought I really want to invent a toy that all the kids would want to play with.
Now, let's stop you right here. You were
Okay.
sitting around your pond. So you are you live in this area, this region, out in the, this prairie land of Illinois, and you actually have a property and you have a pond on your property?
It's an ornamental pond, but it's a pretty good sized one. Yes,
Okay.
we have a pond.
And that was just enough to get this project started.
get it
Okay,
thinking about it.
Go from there.
So my friend, we were thinking of a toy, and my son was coming up with these great ideas, and my friend came up with this name, Pond Punkies. And I was like, oh, I kind of like that, Pond Punkies. So I thought, well, cool, we could make a toy with that. So we started brainstorming, and we said, well, they could travel underwater, under tunnels, under the water to get to other ponds. And so that's how the idea originally started for the toy. And this is one of the toys. This is a prototype. This is Blaze, but this is a prototype, so on the actual action figure, like I can pull his head off, but nobody else can do that. This is
Okay.
This one,
and
when
he
the
didn't
actual
mind a bit.
no,
did
he didn't. He was really nice about it. When the actual toy is made, his arms will be bendable, his legs will be bendable.
Oh, there he is. Look
See
at
him?
that.
And his legs will bend, and his flame, when the children put the flame in, it'll pop right back out. It'll be spring loaded. But we decided, let's try to come up with some toys. So that's how it started with the pond.
Okay, so this little guy can burrow underground, and he can go from pond to pond, and he can be part of our water system, and he may be out there right now, and we don't know about
You
it.
never know.
But he also has a flamethrower.
Yes, he does.
Why
Well,
would he need that?
Well, it gets into the Pond Punkies where they came from. All the Pond Punkies came from the moons that orbit Neptune, and we have Neptune up there. May I show them this?
Oh, sure.
In this book, this is the Pond Punky universe.
Okay, what are we
And
looking
in here,
at here?
Blaze is from Larissa. So if you're from Larissa, you'll have red hair and red eyes.
Okay.
Just like Blaze would right
We'll
here.
hold this up here for a second.
Okay.
Okay, so this little guy that we just met was Blaze, and he's from Larissa. Okay, and then we've got Proteus down below.
Right, and if you're from Proteus, you're going to have brown hair, brown eyes, and you'll be a shapeshifter. So it just
that would be me.
a shapeshifter? You're like a chameleon, huh?
I guess. Well,
So it just depends which moon they were born to. So
Okay.
they're born with this specific power. So Blaze has the power of fire, but nothing else.
so here's Blaze here.
Correct.
And
This is Ember, his twin sister.
oh, okay,
And
she's
she has-
also from Larissa then.
Yes,
Okay.
because she has
The red
hair and red
okay.
eyes.
Okay. If we were from Proteus, we'd be a little different. Something
Yes.
like you, Lisa.
Yes. It would be brown hair, brown eyes, exactly.
Okay.
So I may change by the end of the show.
Okay, now who are these guys? We got silver
This
and blue
is
going on.
Nereid. He's from the Nereidian clan, and he's an elder where the Pond Punkies go for training, which I'll go into more detail later. So he has the silver hair and silver eyes because he can invisible like that.
Okay, okay, and we got this blue-haired guy.
He's a Naiadan. He's from Naiad, so he has the power of water. So he has the blue hair and blue eyes.
You have really had to do I mean, this was not just one little jaunt out to sit by the side of your pond. This was a lot of study, research, and imagination. And did you ever get to Neptune? Have you been there?
In my head. Well, what happened was I wrote a short story first because we came up with the toy. And I thought, who would want to play with that toy if they don't know anything about it? So I wrote a short story and it stunk. It was absolutely horrible. I didn't know anything about writing, tried to learn about it, and it was really bad. So I sat it aside. And then I called my sister up, Cynthia Nunn, the co-author on here, and I said, Cindy, you want to help me with this Pond Punky world? So we got together, and that's when we started brainstorming and started coming up with the clans and the whole Pond Punky universe. And
it's just amazing. This is amazing. And you know, I always wonder what is it that that gets an author going, and how they get started, how they get the inspiration for what they're doing. And this is really different than anything I've ever heard. And really, it is very hard to sell a toy, I would think. Everything seems to be tied to marketing. Everything gets to be tied to a major motion picture. And for you to start out from nothing, and just from your imagination, and make this work. This is a real leap of faith, and just a great challenge, I'm sure.
It is. A lot of people told me, well, I think you're going about this backwards. Shouldn't you have the book first? But see, we didn't have the action figure, the prototype, until we had the illustrator. So those toys did come along later, but that was the original idea. So we did start with the story, and it was just going to be a quick, snappy little story, just get the kids interested in Pond Punkies, but they got very interested, and the story got better and better. And then by the time the book came out, now I see that the story is as important as the toys are, because these children who have read the first book are like, I want the second book.
So did you even think it was going to be did you even think it was going to be a series?
No, originally it was just going to be something to introduce these characters so we can get the toys out on the market.
I had to laugh because our studio audience is raising their hand and saying, I want book 2. And that made me laugh when you said that. So you started with a short story. It became book 1, The Arrival.
Yes.
Of course, we see it up here in big, and we see our buddy here with his flame-throwing hands. He's ready to do something. I'm not quite sure what. And so now the series has begun. And how many books in the series, do you know? Or
yes, we do. Well, you know what? There'll be as many books as there are adventures. Originally, it was going to be 4, and then we have so much information on these Pond Punkies. And that's what happened with the first book. You have so much and so much excitement for them. We couldn't fit it all in one book.
It sounds like you've had a lot of collaboration. It sounds like you've got a lot of young people and adults putting in their 2 cents on what these Pond Punkies can do. Maybe some of your young readers have actually figured out what they can do.
Oh, they're amazing, and they give you so many ideas. When I was out on a school visit, the hands are up all the time at the end, and can they freeze time? Can they stop the world? Their little minds just get going, and it's wonderful, because that's what it's about. Get them thinking, get them creating, and a lot of ideas from children, from my husband, my son.
This is an amazing adventure that you're on, and I have a lot of questions I want to ask you. I want to ask you about the toys themselves. Where you got these manufactured. It's a beautiful prototype, and how you get going on this project. I can see that the book is a nice hardcover volume, well published book, and you've got trading cards and clothing and a lot. And this is just a
housewife.
A housewife, an area girl, just like you or me, and just like so many of us. And she's making her dream come true. Lisa does have a website where you can get more information about Pond Punkies. It's really easy, pondpunkies.com. And we're going to talk more about her, some of the challenges that maybe she's had, some of the places that she's spoken, and how she can come to your school or library, how you can get more information about the books, and especially about the books, because these Pond Punkies kind of are on a mission, more than the mission they realize. I mean, they really are making a difference in the lives of children, and we're going to talk more about that as well. We're going to take a quick commercial break, though. It's a little early, but we're going to take it now because we want to spend a lot more time after the break with Lisa and the Pond Punkies. So don't go away. We'll be right back.